phones, Babylons can't crack the
Sam Hartman. The first quarterback I'm going to be talking about today is probably the least known one coming out of high school, and this is Sam Hartman. Now, Sam Hartman in this season is attending Oceanside Collegiate Academy in South Carolina. And Oceanside Collegiate Academy, just the season before Sam Hartman got there, they literally did not win a single game, and it was their first year as a football program. Sam Hartman definitely had a lot on his plate to bring success to Oceanside Collegiate Academy. In this season, Sam Hartman appeared in 10 games for Oceanside Collegiate Academy, and he helped lead them to a 7-3 record, in which he threw for 3,093 yards, completing about 59% of his passes, with 29 touchdowns and only 10 interceptions. And on the ground, he had 9 touchdowns as well. Coming out of the 2018 recruiting class, Sam Hartman was not the most highly touted recruit in the nation. According to the 24/7 Sports Composite rankings, he was a 3-star recruit, ranked as the 767th best player in the nation, the 32nd pro-style quarterback, and the 11th best player in the state of South Carolina. Despite not being the lowest ranked quarterback according to the 24/7 Sports Composite rankings out of all the quarterbacks in this season, he is the one with the least amount of offers and hype coming out of high school. Now, coming out of high school, he only had 3 Division I offers from Wake Forest, Charlotte, and Elon. He would end up committing to Wake Forest. Sam Hartman at Wake Forest was actually the starting quarterback as a true freshman, and he appeared in 9 games before breaking his leg versus Syracuse. In those 9 games, he helped lead the Wake Forest Demon Deacons to a 4-5 record, where he completed 55% of his passes, threw for 1,984 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. In 2019, Sam Hartman would end up redshirting in this season, primarily being a backup quarterback to Jamie Newman. But he would be back in the 2020 college football season with the Demon Deacons as a redshirt sophomore, and he was their starting quarterback yet again. In 9 games, he ended up completing 58% of his passes, throwing for 2,224 yards, 13 touchdowns, and only 5 interceptions on the season, even going to a bowl game as well. The next quarterback I'm going to be talking about is Real Mitchell, who played for St. John Bosco. Now, in this season, he only appeared in 6 games according to Max Preps, and in those 6 games, he completed 65% of his passes, throwing for 949 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, but on the ground, he rushed for 281 yards and 5 touchdowns. Coming out of high school in the 2018 recruiting class, Real Mitchell, despite having a lot of hype around his name while he was playing at St. John Bosco, playing against some very good competition, he was not the most highly touted recruit ever according to rankings. Now, according to the 24/7 Sports Composite rankings, he was a 3-star recruit, ranked as the 1,037th best player in the nation, the 29th best dual-threat quarterback, and the 105th best player in the state of California. Now, you would think someone like Real Mitchell that had as much hype to his name would be ranked higher on all these recruiting websites, but a lot of people doubted him because of his size and just thinking he's not a true quarterback. But despite all that, Real Mitchell still racked up 19 total offers. Some of the more notable offers that Real Mitchell had coming out of high school were Iowa State, Air Force, Arizona, Colorado State, Fresno State, Hawaii, Illinois, Kansas State, Northwestern, Rutgers, South Carolina, UCF, and Utah. He would end up committing to Iowa State to become a Cyclone. Real Mitchell's career at Iowa State was not the most notable thing ever. In 2018, he redshirted, and in 2019, he was a backup the entire season to Brock Purdy, and anytime he did come in, he would be in primarily for designed quarterback runs. It was clear that Iowa State's main guy at quarterback was going to be Brock Purdy for a while. So after the 2019 college football season, Real Mitchell would end up transferring from Iowa State to Temple. Last quarterback I'm going to be talking about today was the most known quarterback from this show in this season, and he was a top 3 player in this class. At Harrison High School in Kennesaw, Georgia, it was clear watching QB1 that Justin Fields was just different from everybody else he was playing against. Justin Fields was almost unstoppable. In only 7 games that he played in, he completed 64% of his passes, throwing for 1,417 yards, 18 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. And on the ground as well, he rushed for 920 yards, averaging 8.4 yards per carry, and 13 total touchdowns. Unlike Sam Hartman and Real Mitchell in this season, Justin Fields, coming out of the 2018 recruiting class, was not a 3-star recruit. Justin Fields was actually one of the best players in the nation. According to the 24/7 Sports Composite rankings, he was a 5-star recruit, the number 2 player in the nation, and the number 1 dual-threat quarterback, and the second best player in the state of Georgia, just behind Trevor Lawrence. Coming out of high school, Justin Fields had a total of 42 offers. Now, I would talk about some of his more notable offers, but that would take way too long because he has offers from almost every blue blood school in college football. Almost all of his offers are coming from schools who have rich traditions of college football. Despite having offers from almost every school in the country, Justin Fields would decide to stay home and be a hometown hero and attend Georgia. In the 2018 college football season, Justin Fields was a backup quarterback to Jake Fromm. And in this season, he would appear in 12 games, and every time he was on the field, he played very well. And some people even thinking that Justin Fields should have started over Jake Fromm at some point in the season, but that never happened. And Justin Fields was not happy being a backup quarterback. He definitely wasn't going to stay another season being a backup quarterback again. After the 2018 college football season, Justin Fields would transfer from Georgia to Ohio State. In the 2019 college football season, Justin Fields was the starting quarterback for Ohio State, and he lit up the college football world. In the 2019 college football season, he was a Heisman finalist, made it to the college football playoff, won the Big Ten, and his stats included completing 67% of his passes while throwing for 3,273 yards, 41 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions, and on the ground, he had 10 touchdowns as well. Justin Fields' last season at Ohio State, this past college football season, the 2020 college football season, he ended up throwing for 2,100 yards, 22 touchdowns, and only 6 interceptions, completing 70% of his passes, as well as 5 touchdowns on the ground, and he even made it to the national championship game, where he ended up losing to Alabama. Right now, Justin Fields is a projected top 10 pick in this upcoming 2021 NFL Draft. Now that I'm at the end of the video, drop down your comments down below if you want me to cover Where Are They Now Season 3, and before I get off, remember to smash that like button, turn on them post notifications, and subscribe for more videos. B. Kelly out.